Hey everybody, my name is Chloe. Welcome to my channel. I have been doing these presidential highlight videos for 21 presidents now. We are on president number 22. But before I get into this, a couple things I want to say. Our 22nd president was Grover Cleveland, and he was the one that had a split time in office. So there was Grover Cleveland, then there was another president, and then Grover Cleveland happened again, which is why I thought he did so much. So that's why his video will be split into two, but it won't be one right after the other. There will be another president in between. So the second, Grover Cleveland Part 2 will be his second term in office. So I just learned that Trump has now been voted to be impeached. So I guess that means you can't bully your way back into office or back into politics like you think you can. Again, I ask all of you to stay safe, be vigilant, pray for the unity of this country and not these thousands of people that are going out. And the peaceful protests are okay. It's the rioters that are the problems. So whether it's Antifa or MAGA or whatever, whoever it is. So yesterday I realized I made a mistake when I did my video. Because I was in a different location, which again, I'm in my room, I totally forgot to show you the picture of the 21st president, which was Chester A. Arthur. So I can't really bring it too much closer. Actually, I can just unplug my phone. So here's a picture of Grover Cleveland, or Chester A. Arthur. That was yesterday's president. So, my apologies for that. I'm so sorry. So let's take a look at Grover Cleveland. I promise I will not do this again. His first term in office, there wasn't that too much that happened. So here is Grover Cleveland. So this will be the only one of his two videos that I'll show his picture, because there's no point in showing his picture a second time. Okay, so let's get into Grover Cleveland, our 22nd president. His first term he served from 1885 to 1889. His vice president was Thomas Hendricks, and then the vice president office became vacant. So March 4th, 1885, Grover Cleveland was inaugurated. He was the first Democratic president to serve prior to the Civil War since James Buchanan. November 25th, 1885, Thomas Hendricks dies. It doesn't exactly say what he died of, but he died in his sleep, and he was 66 years old. So 8 months into Cleveland's term, he doesn't have a vice president for the remainder of his term. January 19th, 1886, Cleveland signs the Presidential Succession Act. It was specified in the absence of the president and vice president, the heads of the executive departments would succeed the presidency in the order that they fall in line. So it starts with the Secretary of State. It remained in force until 1947. In 1792, the order of succession fell to the president pro tempore of the Senate, and it was followed by the Speaker of the House, which I think is the way it is now. April 22nd, 1886, Cleveland addresses Congress. Labor is a vital element of the national prosperity. He suggests creation of a government committee to resolve disputes between labor and capital. May 8th, 1886, Cleveland vetoes the military pensions. It grants military pensions to Civil War vets who appealed to Congress. May 11th, 1886, accepting the Statue of Liberty. So, commemorates the alliance between the U.S. and France during the Revolutionary War. May 25th, 1886, Cleveland announces his engagement. Now, one of you, I'm sure, is going to have something to say to me about this. He will marry a 21-year-old Frances Folsom, which created quite an uprising in the general public. Cleveland was 49 years old. To the person I'm talking to, you know who you are. I don't want to hear it. June 2nd, 1886, Cleveland marries. October 28th, 1886, the Statue of Liberty was dedicated. So he got married awfully quick, like 2 weeks later. He announces his engagement on May 25th and he gets married on June 2nd. Wow. Okay, again, October 28th, 1886, the Statue of Liberty is dedicated. And she takes her place on Liberty Island. December 8th, 1886, American Federation of Labor. It was formed by Samuel Gompers. The AFL is a trade union, and it grows for 2 decades. By 1904, the members make up 10% of all non-agricultural wage workers. In 1912, the AFL backs hopeful Woodrow Wilson for his bid for the presidency. February 4th, 1887, the Interstate Commerce Commission. Following complaints about the railroad rates and policies, the ICC was created to ensure fairness in management. Eventually, the scope expands to include all common carriers. February 8th, 1887, Cleveland signs the Dawes Act. Now, I know that I talked about this, but when I went back through a couple of my presidents, because I have everything still in this notebook, I couldn't find where it was. But apparently there was a lady, Helen Hunt something, it wasn't the actress obviously, wrote a book, something about the mistreatment of Native Americans, and that was about the time that the Dawes Act happened. But when I went back to look in that time period, 1881, I don't see anything about the Dawes Act, but I know I talked about it. So the General Allotment Act, it was also called the General Allotment Act. It was it divided the tribal lands of Native Americans into individual allotments. It also encouraged assimilation of Native Americans into society. February 11th, 1887, Cleveland vetoes the Dependent Pension Bill. Let me try that again. Cleveland vetoes the Dependent Pension Bill. Try saying that 5 times fast. It would have given military pension to anyone serving a minimum of 90 days in any war. February 16th, 1887, Cleveland vetoes the Texas Seed Bill. It was designed to provide relief to drought-stricken farmers. I don't know why he would have vetoed that. And on the same day, February 16th, the Tenure of Office Act of 1867. It was repealed after Cleveland challenges its constitutionality. Okay, so if we go back to Andrew Johnson, where was he at? 1867, I said, right? Give me just 1 second. Did I say 1867? Yeah, 1867. Okay, so let's go back to 1867. Why does that say 1865 and 66? What? I'm confused on that one. Must have been 1869. Okay, 1867. Andrew Johnson. 1867. What are we talking about? Andrew Johnson. Tenure of Office Act. Okay, so I think it was during 1867, Andrew Johnson, right? Is this Andrew Johnson? I'm sorry. I'm not very well prepared for this here. 1867. Yes. That was the whole Andrew Johnson, Edwin Stanton riff, where Stanton, I believe Stanton had barricaded himself Yeah, Stanton refused to leave office and barricades himself in the cabinet office for 2 months. So that's when the whole, and Andrew Johnson was set to be impeached, but he ended up not being impeached or something like that. So yeah, that's when that all happened. Okay, so September 20th, 1887, Cleveland tours the South and the Southwest. December 6th, 1887, Cleveland addresses Congress. He argues against protective tariffs. Representative Roger Q. Mills, Democrat from Texas, introduces a moderate bill that reduces rates and favors the South. January 16th, 1888, Cleveland appoints Lucius Q.C. Lamar, not Lucius Malfoy. He's from Mississippi, and he was appointed to the Supreme Court, and prior to that, he was the Secretary of Interior for Cleveland. The Civil Service Commission amends the rules on the same day. By 1889, Cleveland expands positions from 16,000 to 27,000. April 30th, 1888, Cleveland appoints Melville W. Fuller as Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. June 13th, 1888, the Department of Labor was established. Now, this goes back to June 27th, 1884. This was where it gets a bit confusing to me, because when I looked this up, June 27th of 1884, the Bureau of Labor was established. It was created within the Department of Interior. It says the Independent Department of Labor was not created till 1913. But here, it's saying, where was I? The Department of Labor was established June 13th of 1888. So, I'm a bit confused on that one. I think the people that wrote this up didn't quite do their research properly. June 25th, 1888, the Republican National Convention nominates Benjamin Harrison. He was an Indiana senator and the grandson of William Henry Harrison, former president. The New York banker Levi P. Morton was nominated as vice president. September 8th, 1888, the Democratic National Convention nominates Cleveland, and his VP was going to be ex-Ohio Senator Allen G. Thurman. October 8th, 1888, Cleveland signs the Chinese Exclusion Act. Now, if you remember, this also happened in the last president, I think. Yeah, the Chinese Exclusion Act was vetoed on March 27th, 1882, and then it was revisited on May 6th of 1882. So now it is signed. Keep losing my spot, sorry. And this prohibits the Chinese who returned to China from re-entering the U.S. The federal government doesn't eradicate the barriers until 1943, just in time for World War II. November 6, 1888, Cleveland loses to Harrison. He wins by the popular vote, but loses the electoral 233 to 168. February 11th, 1889, Department of Agriculture was created. February 22nd, 1889, North Dakota, South Dakota, Montana, Washington all become states. March 4th, 1889, Benjamin Harrison was inaugurated. And amazingly enough, Frances Cleveland, Grover Cleveland's wife, tells the White House staff that they will be back in 4 years. So she goes up to him and says, you'll be back. Or they say that to her. So, tomorrow we will be dealing with Benjamin Harrison, who was the 23rd president. So, we have a lot of firsts with a lot of these early presidents, but now we have a first with our current president. This is the first time in U.S. history that a president has been impeached twice during his term. Very interesting. It'll be interesting to see how he responds. I have been thinking all along that to employ the 25th Amendment and to do this impeachment was so stupid, being that it's so close to the end of his presidency, and he has already said that he doesn't plan to run again. But now I'm hearing contradictory statements that he was planning on rerunning in 2024. So I think that's why they pushed for this, so that to be impeached would mean... See, this is where I get confused between the 25th Amendment and the impeachment. I think the 25th Amendment just kicks him out of office, takes him out of power, and the impeachment, if they can remove him from power, means that he can never run for president again, or I think maybe any political office. Comment below and let me know if I'm wrong on that. So... quite interesting. So, of course, we'll be talking about this when it comes time for me to talk about Trump and all the things that happened during his presidency. Personally, like I said, I've never liked the guy, even before the whole Rosie O'Donnell thing, too. So, just my opinion of the man. I never cared for him. So, you guys stay safe. Stay healthy, keep positive, spread sunshine, spread joy, spread unity. Get on your knees and pray for peace in this country. Thankfully, the rest of the world doesn't look at us as a laughing stock. They are all with the majority of us that think that these rioters and criminals, who in my opinion are stupid criminals, because the one guy that was in the Viking outfit actually called the FBI and turned himself in. Like, how dumb do you have to be? Oh my gosh. Like, I don't understand what these people are thinking. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't even go for a peaceful protest. I didn't even go for a peaceful protest during the whole George Floyd thing. So, it is what it is, I guess. So, we will see you back tomorrow for the 23rd president. Please comment below. Please like my videos. Please share them to anyone who might be interested in learning about our presidents. And we will see you back tomorrow. Have a sunny day. Class dismissed.